Mm-hmm. An office. There are shelves everywhere. Loads of files, too. Like the hall before it, it's oddly ordinary. Just a double check, though. Yep. Pretty sure it's another puzzle room. Alright then. Let's get searching. Okay, but before we do, two things. First, let's explore the fail state of putting the wrong marbles in. Because I forgot to do that. I was so excited that I solved the puzzles in this room. I forgot to do that. You step back and pause. Something about the order doesn't seem.
Not quite. But it's okay. I can fix this easy peasy. Just, stand still for 1 second and... Lab report number 909. Subject was crushed by a comically large marble. Dropped just high enough for instantaneous death and perfect comedic timing. Contributing factors to death: didn't recognize good slapstick even when it hit them. Dead end 2. Marvelous slapstick.
Okay. Now the second thing I gotta do, before we continue on here, is I have to eat food. I meant to only spend a certain amount of time on that first puzzle room, but as I found myself getting engrossed into it, I kind of forgot. So I'm gonna go take a quick break here to get some food. When we come back, we will explore puzzle room number 3 here. And we're back. Welcome back, folks. Let's go ahead and continue on trying to escape these rooms. Now, I do have that guide I opened earlier in case I get really stuck, but I'm gonna keep trying to solve these puzzles as best I can. Right, let's explore the room. A notice stuck at the water cooler, which doesn't actually dispense any water. It says, "The child who came with a knife also received the perspicacious processing implant. The child who received the arms implant arrived last. The toy plane could have belonged to the child with heightened hearing, or the child who received new eyes. The yo-yo belonged to either subject F or the subject who received cybernetic legs. The cell number of the subject with cybernetic arms is half the cell number that subject D stayed in. The child who got new eyes came 1 month before the child who came with the knife." Oh, that's an answer key, isn't it? I maybe should have been paying attention. Oops. As you look over the sprawling row of photos, documents, and diagrams, you realize everything in front of you is perfectly orderly. These are the notes of a hunter, and Stop was their prey. You recognize dozens of names, operations, and places, vital parts of Stop's organization that had suffered heavy blows in the last few years. But you're disturbed by how many places you don't recognize. Laboratories, factories, and armories that must be high above your clearance level, crossed out like someone was just going down a checklist. All these top secret sites share the same acronym: YTDI. No, you don't recognize it. That's par for the course with Stop. If you don't know what an acronym means, it's probably above your pay grade. So in the first corridor, we weren't allowed to explore the video. And the second corridor, we weren't allowed to explore the other rooms. I do wonder what's behind them, though. You survey the diagrams before you. From a distance, they seem to be your average blueprints. Blueprints are weapons of all makes, shapes, and sizes. But, on closer inspection, they reveal certain quirkiness that doesn't belong on a technical document. The handwriting is also distinct, for lack of a better word. That said, poor penmanship hasn't dulled the designs themselves. The least dangerous of these will be devastating out in the field. The oldest of the blueprints, the ones hidden at the bottom of the pile, look wildly different. Clearly, another person was behind them. In fact, if you squint, you can still find the signatures at the bottom. The strange, they say. Or the strange. Like Sherlock Holmes? Am I thinking of the right name? Oh no, that's a Strad. Never mind. They're dated more than 15 years ago. Blueprints for a variety of dangerous weapons. Honestly, they're pretty scary. A sprawling web of photos, documents, and diagrams. And they're all rated to stop. Printouts and clippings of various news articles, all related to Dr. Danger's exploits, with a certain colorful sidekick occasionally breaking into the opening paragraphs. In fact, when you look at them all together, caution seems to show up more over time. Dr. Danger must have been pleased with the pupil's growth. At the bottom of the pile, a heavily weathered photo peeks out. Based on what you can make out of the caption, it looks like some kind of commemorative occasion. M180X2D, room 2. This et al. Celebrate breakthrough in cybernetic security. Cybernetics, huh? Right, I just took a screenshot of that. Seems like that'll be an important clue for later. You can't recognize any of the faces. But you do recognize the logo as... Never mind. It's just similar, that's all. Huh. We seem to have something of an unreliable narrator. They keep stopping themselves and aren't actually investigating all avenues, which is rather strange. Newspaper printings and clipouts. They all feature Dr. Danger, as well as certain colorful sidekick. You eye over the mass of scrawled notes pinned in front of you. There are two distinct sets of handwriting here, but the contents are mostly the same and mostly domestic. Notes on what to eat for breakfast and when to start preparing it. Notes on how much sleep to get and what stories to read. Birthdays, exercises, meal plans, and chores. The two who wrote these notes weren't just sharing the same space. They were living together. Dr. Danger and Caution, huh? A wall of scrawled notes. And they all talk about domestic tasks? Alright, let's make a save here. I think that's everything in the room that I can investigate without doing a puzzle. So, without further ado, let's look at the door first. There are 5 empty slots on door's lock. Your best guess is that you need to fill them up, somehow. Caution's a big fan of word games, so he wants you to come up with a word that's almost as good as the one above. You might have to find some letters first.
Wow, lab rat. Did you even try? Lab report number 404. Not much to say here. The lab rat just sucks at word games. Contributing factors to death? Should have dipped their toes into a few titles before meeting me. Personally, I recommend Scrattle. Dead End 6. Stop me if you think you've worded this one before.
Oh, word this one before. Instead of heard. Okay. Here we are again. The monitor is displaying some kind of simulation. Better take a closer look. Oh, it's a pipe puzzle. Love these. Okay.
It's time for a crash course in cybernetics. Lay down new synthetic neural pathways, but be mindful of the original piece that can't be moved. Here's some basic recalibration rules. Neural pathways must form one continuous loop and occupy every available space. Pathways can cross over themselves, but they can't retrace themselves, so no T intersections. At any four-way intersection, a neuron will always go straight through. It will never turn. You can only submit possible solutions where there are no open-ended pathways, including T intersections.
Okay. Seems simple enough. You confirm your choice and a beeping starts. Its tone sets the hairs on the back of your neck on edge.
Hey, lab rat.
You're losing him, Doc.
Wait. That's an actual...
As they are now, they can't be restabilized. That person's own nervous system will rip their body apart with spasming. But they shouldn't be punished for your mistake, right? Well, don't worry. I can fix this. But I'm gonna need a hand.
Suddenly, your body feels a lot heavier. Is that mist in the corner of the room?
And a liver. And a stomach, and a heart, and most of your spinal cord. And I'm gonna need them right now. Lab report number 062. Patient was eventually restabilized and should wake up within the next few days. On the other hand, the lab rat won't ever get up again. They're missing a few too many critical parts. Contributing factors to death? They gave too much of themselves to my cause. Dead End 9 didn't make the cut.
Gotta say, I really enjoy the failed states. Aha! I can examine these. These documents appear to be designed for cybernetic limbs, like the ones produced by Stop, at first glance. On closer inspection, there are more differences than there are similarities. Stop technology is more generalized, more efficient, and angular. These plans are heavily customized. They could have only been suitable for a very small number of subjects, possibly as few as 1. Perhaps Dr. Danger based it off stolen data? You make a note to tell your superiors about possible reverse engineering. Designs for cybernetic limbs. They're pretty similar to the ones produced by Stop. Any chance that Dr. Nature made them first and they were stolen from her? Okay. Let's do this. Okay. First off, easiest ones are those tied to the corners. There can only be so many paths among them. Okay. All right. Everything must be occupied. So what if we did that loop again? Yeah. Okay. So these must connect there and there. Okay. I think I have to use the pipes. Go straight through. Oh wait, it doesn't have to be one continuous loop though, right? Yeah. Has to be continuous loop. Hmm. Does that work? No, I don't think so. Hmm. Like, all I can think of to do is that. I mean, I hope that's still considered as part of the loop, but I don't know. Like that there. Oh, hang on. Has to be one loop. Then we got a loop-de-loop over here too. A loop-de-loop there. So rather than going through it like that. No, actually, yeah. I can loop-de-loop here-ish. And then connect them in the center? Oh, goodness gracious, my brain. Right, this has to go through anyway, so... What's really messing me up is that I'm actually able to do these loop-de-loops in the first place. I have to connect those. What about... I put stuff over, right? How do I connect it to the rest? Is that good? Okay, loop. Round, down, here and here. They can cross these sections, but they do overlap. Okay. That should be fine. Basically, whenever I saw the T, or the cross rather, or an elbow, it's an opportunity to do a loop-de-loop. Excuse me. Okay, all I need to find out. You solved the puzzle. Hey! The dress drawer just opened a bit and reveals two small titles inside. R and C are written on them, respectively. Now, where could you put them to use? I know. Yes, over at my save, please. You've already solved the cybernetics puzzle. Holy crap! Did you guess that right on your first try? Huh? Really? Kidding! You... Ah, come on, lighten up. Here, let me help. Did you get tasered? Lab report number 404. Not much to say here. The lab just sucks at word games. Oh, it's the same dead end. Slightly different dialogue, though. Because we actually had letters to use this time. And we tried. Oh, I see. It's one of these. The black blur is covered in little doodles, but they don't seem to be there for just decoration. You hate to admit it, but they're kind of cute. Completely unlike their creator. During our last operation, we only managed to save 5 test subjects. We also found incomplete records that indicated all the subjects at this facility arrived within the same calendar year, and a box of their personal belongings. Click on notes for the detailed view. In the detailed view, click on written notes to strike them out. Using what information we have, figure out which item belongs to who, which cybernetic implant each subject received, when each test subject arrived at the facility, and which cell each subject stayed in. Huh. This is supposed to be a cybernetics lab. The child who came with a knife also received the perspicacious processing implant. The child who received the armed arms implant arrived last. The toy plane could have belonged to the child with heightened hearing, or the child who received new eyes. The yo-yo belonged to either the subject F, or the subject who received cybernetic legs.
The child who got new eyes came 1 month before the child who came with the knife. Okay, so let's start with the one that's most obvious. Oh, actually, before I even knew that. Let's save. And let's get some dead ends. You carefully insert one more pin and into the board, which leaves. Whoa! You suck at this. Something about this unusually straightforward insult puts ice into your veins. It's like you're solving this puzzle with your eyes closed and your nose plugged. There's some reason you don't want to look at the truth in front of you, lab rat? No, it's just... I know you're not taking this seriously. Maybe we should just move on. You know what? Yeah. Let's put a pin in it. Crunch. Lab report number 273. Subject experienced permanent loss of life after one... Oh. Lab report number 273. Subject experienced permanent loss of life after one of the facility's reconfigurable nanostakes jetted out to the floor and impaled into the ceiling. Guess they're worth the trouble of installation. Contributing factors to death. Couldn't put progress on the board. Dead end 7. Pin pricked. Let's do this again. I noticed that every time they're describing a death, though, it's never on screen. And I know that's probably because it's a visual novel and they're, you know, saving resources on their art. At the same time, I do wonder if any of this is actually a life not in danger or not, or if it's just like what if scenarios that we don't really experience. I don't know. The mystery deepens. Okay, so the kid with armed arms. Oh good, it actually tells you like which note means what. Okay, that does help. The child received the arms implant arrived last. So could be December, one of the last month dates. The child who came with a knife also received the perspicacious processing implant. Subject G. I guess we have to figure out first, what is perspicacious? Perspicacious describes someone with keen mental perception, insight, and the ability to understand difficult or subtle things quickly. Often used to mean shrewd, astute, or sharp-witted. So subject A then. Am I missing a clue somewhere? Shouldn't there be like another sheet of paper to give me more information to work off? I mean, I found one of them tied to the water cooler, so maybe there's more around here.
Hey, lab rat.
Let me restart the room. Oh, of course. It's a puzzle. Huh. Where the last room seemed to be about like eliminating people, this one it seems to be about helping? Instructions. In a stealthy campaign, Caution has managed to take control of a stop holding center, where several young test subjects are being held in a futuristic panopticon. To give them the best chance of survival, Caution needs to rearrange the cells that each group of escaping testes is balanced. These groups are shown as a circle, a triangle, a square, and an X. However, the bureaucratic systems have left only the bare minimum operating instructions on how to operate the panopticon. Help Caution properly arrange the cells according to the limitations of the system. Oh, I see. Blue to white, white to black? Not sure I understand. Am I just doing a combination lock type thing? Yeah, that seems to be it. Do they have to be the same shape though? Oh wait, the only separate number rule. You rearrange on a set of cells and suddenly your controls freeze up. There's a notification in the corner. Seems like you've run out of time, lab rat. That's it. The jailbreak is over. You screwed up. So it was a prison? Then. If this only concerned you and me, I'd be whatever about it. We all make mistakes, you know? So I'm super forgiving and cool and mature about this kind of thing. But you just lost those kids a chance to get out before the operations start. Huh. Sorry, operations? They could have gotten out clean. Now I'll have to step in and bust them out dirty. And it's all because of you.
Shut up.
Now go sit in the corner and think about what you've done. I'll come back for you when you're sorry enough. Lab report number 893. Subject expired after 3 days due to lack of water, light, food, and mental stimulation. Scratched their nails to bleeding point on the exit door before losing consciousness. So I'll have to clean that mess up. Contributing factors to death? Didn't take the consequences of imprisonment very seriously. Dead End 8. A taste of sobering punishment. Okay, so these ones aren't relevant, I don't think, to the board. Excuse me. Cybernetic limbs. These limbs are heavily specialized. And it seems to imply that it's for these children who are being kept in a prison tied to this panopticon. Ah, here we go. Okay, I was just missing a note. There's a note stuck to the front of the desk. It says, Subject D received the eye implants. 2 children arrived before Subject G did, and 2 children arrived after. The child with the toy plane was a higher cell number than the child who came with the yo-yo. The bracelet was found in the cell directly to the right of the child who received the hearing implant. To their left was a cell that remained empty the longest. The cell number of the subject with cybernetic arms is half the cell number that Subject D stayed in. Subject R came with a toy plane. There we go. And this one by the water cooler. The cell number of the subject with cybernetic arms is half the cell number the subject's disease state in. Aha! You pick up the note beneath the blackboard. It's actually physically in the art. It says, the cell of the child with the lethal legs implant was between the cells of the child who came with the knife and the child who came with the yo-yo. The cell of the child who received the perspicacious prostate implant was between the cells of the child who arrived in July and the child who arrived in February. The child who received the hand and hearing implant arrived 1 month apart from the child who came with the yo-yo. The child with the yo-yo stayed in cell number 2. Okay. That's actually very helpful. Okay, sorry. I need to reset these strings. Cell number 3. It has to be everything, right? Oh, okay. There we go. I swear I did it right like the previous 2 times too. I must have like put a thread in the wrong place. Celebratory water shots. My throat is dry. You solved the puzzle. You solved the puzzle. A tiny blue tie. A tiny blue tile falls to the ground. Upon closer inspection, it reads the letter E for evidence? Or maybe for end of puzzles. Or enough of these silly games. But that's just wishful thinking. Either way, you decide to take it with you. Whew. Okay. Let's save. One more puzzle in this room. Right. That Colosseum thing is a panopticon. Off to puzzle solving you go. Alright. These groups are shown as a circle, a triangle, a square, and then an X. However, the bureaucratic systems have left only the bare minimum operating instructions on how to operate the panopticon. Okay. Okay. So, if I move this... Hang on, let me save again. The blue rings move too. Yes? Okay. That's what that means. Hello, Rika. Welcome in. Long time no see. Sorry I haven't been on for a while. No worries. Good to see you again. I have spent 6 hours on these escape room puzzles. The game is pretty good. I maybe bit off more than I can chew by choosing the hardest possible difficulty. Okay. Several young test subjects are being held in a futuristic panopticon. Best chance of survival, caution needs to rearrange the cells, and each group of escaping testees is balanced. So by balanced, it means none of these can be the same. Circle, triangle, square, and then an X. 6 hours, how many have I done? There was 3 in the last room, 3 in this room, and then 1 in the very first room. So about 8 puzzles? Which is about like one puzzle for every 30 minutes or so, give or take. Not too bad. But I'm playing on the hardest difficulties. That does contribute. Okay. So whenever I move a black circle, the blue one moves. And whenever I move the blue circle, the white one moves. If I move the white circle, the black one moves. Okay. And there's only one... No, there's two. There's two of each. So they can't... Wait, can I move these? Yes, I can. Alright, so when it says balanced... Basically, they just have to be non-repeating. Right? So... What the heck, buddy, is smart? I'm trying my best. Okay. Triangle, square, X. Okay, so let's quickly eliminate between the two, the beginning and the end. Circle, triangle, square, and X. Circle, triangle, square. Oh, wait. X, triangle, blank, X, circle. Oh, I also have to have a blank space. I got a blank space, baby. Now write your name. So this triangle cannot be here or here at the ends. Okay, the center black circle... Is that moving? I don't know, that's moving. And I have 15 moves to do this. Okay. Oh. That wasn't an attempt. I was just testing things out. Okay, okay. Do 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 do. I swear, when I will get around to editing this. There's like a really interesting story behind all these puzzles, but because I'm spending so much time on each one, I'm afraid that the viewers aren't really seeing this weird story of this child who has kept us locked up here because we're law enforcement. And it seems like these puzzles are actually tied to some scheme or prison break that he's having us solve in the form of these, like, escape room tests. It's very strange. Like, earlier, we were doing surgery, but also, maybe we weren't? The room before this one had a bunch of, like, poison mixing, bomb making, and hacking, supposedly, but it's also in the form of these mini games. Alright, let me think. Square, X, triangle, circle. So the, like, backstory supposedly of this test is that it's a jailbreak for escaping testees. And then caution says if you fail, that's it. The jailbreak is over. You screwed up. So it was a prison. Then. If this only concerned you and me, I'd be whatever about it. We all make mistakes, you know. So I'm super forgiving and cool and mature about this kind of thing. But you just lost those kids a chance to get out of here before the operations start. Sorry, operations? They could have gotten out clean. Now I'll have to step in and bust them out dirty. And it's all because of you.
Shut up.
Now go sit in the corner and think about what you've done. I'll come back for you when you're sorry enough. Dead End 8. A taste of sobering punishment. Okay, for the sake of time, and my own sanity, I'll rely on a guide for this one. We are in room number 2. Panopticon. Okay, here we go.
So I'm using the guide here because I'm a little bit stuck. And, you know, it's already 5 in the morning. First ring means the innermost ring. Fifth ring means the outermost ring. There's a couple of moves to get you started. Rotate the fifth ring 2 positions counterclockwise. Okay. 1, 2. X blank blank square triangle. Then there's a bunch of repeating there, so not good yet. And then rotate the fourth ring 2 positions clockwise. 1, 2. Rotate the second blue ring 1 position counterclockwise. And then rotate the third ring. So 1, 2, 3. 2 positions counterclockwise. So that's the white circle. Yeah, I wouldn't have gotten this in a million years. Too much from my brain. You solved the puzzle. In response to your hard-earned success, 2 little in response to your hard-earned success, 2 little straddle-like tiles pop out of the miniature panopticon. They show the letters A and S. How quaint. Alright. The evidence board showed pictures of children with cybernetic implants. And our agency creates cybernetic limbs, but these ones are specialized for combat. So it's a wonder, are we the good guys? Okay. Let's open the door. There are 5 empty doors. There are 5 empty slots on door's lock. Your best guess is I need to fill them up somehow.
Caution's got a big fan of word games, so he wants you to come up with a word that's almost as good as the one above. You might have to find some letters first.
So, something as good as taser. But I'm sure I just have to, like, spell something out that's different.
Wow, lab rat. Did you even try? Not much to say here. The lab rat just sucks at word games. Contributing factors to death. Should have dipped their toes into a few titles before meeting me. Personally, I recommend Scrattle. Stop me if you think you've worded this one before.
Dead end 6. I didn't know where to save, right? Yeah, I did. So, the first puzzle here was brain surgery. The second puzzle was tracking the kids' identities and what limbs they're gonna get, and what belongings they came with, and what month. The third one is plans for a prison break in a security system. In the previous room, we made a bomb, poison, and hacked into our agency's, or supposedly hacked into our agency's security system. Okay. I mean, that's the only word I can think of that like has the same letters here. Reset doesn't work because there's an A and everything. So, yeah, tears. No message from the kid yet. Maybe if you're stealthy, you could sneak past without being subjected to another one of his stupid broadcasts.
Snooping as usual, I see.
Yeah. Also, the kid who kidnapped us is a kid and has a fantastic design. You spoke too soon.
Yeah, you're right in your element, huh? Not that you know it, but I've got a good eye for this kind of thing.
Oh, his entire design spells like caution. Stoplight, crossing sign, and this shirt is like is a caution sign too. The triangle is just a caution sign. Oh, okay. Now I get it.
I bet you got that bubbly feeling buzzing under your skin. Like sweet, sparkling lemonade in your veins?
What a colorful turn of phrase.
I'd give my right arm to feel as excited as you do now, lab rat. You must be salivating at the mountain of evidence beneath your fingertips. Weapons, corkboards, secret evil plans. All the classics are here. You really, really want to rub your grubby paws all over them. Even if you copied half of them, of one blue into the corkboard and threw it in the washing machine, you still have enough evidence to net you a promotion from HQ. Onto a bar napkin and threw it into the washing machine, you still have enough evidence to net you a promotion from HQ.
Well then.
So, go ahead. Take as much as you like. I won't touch a hair on your head. After all, the great Cauchon, Emperor of Malviolence, knows that you only care about the truth. He shall let you indulge. Hey, lab rat. Can I ask you something? You are just getting evidence, right?
Does he not approve of your investigation style? You're being thorough, just to be cautious. You're just being thorough.
I've watched you with my drones. Tailor these puzzles to your specific, subpar problem-solving skills. Carried out quasi-legal research on your identity. So I know what you are. You're an agent for Stop. Nothing more, nothing less. Am I right? Again, with the silent treatment. I've had vending machines with better social skills than you. You know that? Fine.
Shut up!
Fine! Fine! The next time you escape a puzzle room, I won't talk either.
Ooh, the braids are gold. Fun.
See how you like it. Now move, or you'll regret your staring contest with me. Now move, or you'll regret your staring contest with me.
Again with the temper tantrum, huh? Seriously, why is he so pissed off at you? He and Dr. Danger have fought against top field agents in the past, but that's not your department. Hell, before this, you've never met either of them face to face. What right does he have to act all high and mighty at you? Right. Supervillain. Big ego. No self-awareness. Don't overthink it. I would think a bit more about that, actually. Ooh. Private study. Get past events workshop. It's that stock photo again. The dim corridor stretches before you, with no answers to offer. It's darker here, but not in an unpleasant way. It's warmer than the previous rooms, literally and figuratively. The wooden floorboards and decorated wallpaper feel welcoming. Nostalgic even. If you viewed this hall alone, you'd assume it belonged to a family household. Oh, is that Medicine Pocket or Dr. Stein's sibling or cousin? Like Dr. Stein from Soul Eater? Soul Eater? As someone who's seen Danganronpa, I know how this is gonna go. Single door in a hallway. Yep. This game is inspired by the Zero Escape games and Spike Chunsoft, so would not be surprising. Yeah, Soul Eater. Shizute no washuki no kira yume wa sasanara. Not to a scheming terrorist and her kooky sidekick. It's been a very long, Day? Hard to tell how much time has passed. Hard to tell how much time has passed. About 6 hours. But damn. You're exhausted. I'm actually surprisingly okay. The gentle heat tempts you to sit down on the floor. Or maybe lie down. Would caution allow you to take a quick... would caution allow you to take a quick breather? If he meant what he said about not harming a hair on your head, then maybe the smart thing to do would be to...
Very tempting for a wooden floor, isn't it?
Hey, I thought you said these were pre-recorded. Ugh. A third time?
Heated flooring. My work has always been stressful, so I've always strived to maximize comfort wherever I could.
Hello again. Deceased Dr.
Allow me to
Danger.
explain.
You love the theme song. As someone who played Kingdom Hearts, it really shows you. Yeah, this is Square Enix's anime. So later is what if Square Enix didn't do video games. Yeah. There's minimal voice acting in this game, and both the voice actors are pretty good. Love the glasses, right? This is the supposed supervillain, Dr. Danger, who's been fighting against our law enforcement agency for goodness knows how long. But a couple days or weeks ago, died in her own explosion. So we're just seeing like pre-recorded messages from her. And the one who kidnapped us was her sidekick, because we went down into this location and was knocked out by him. Freaking lasers. When your work is done, you can sleep here all you like. But before then, you've got dishes to clean, washes to run, bedrooms to vacuum. And of course, caution to take care of. What? Okay, so all the videos seem to suggest that whoever was supposed to watch these videos was supposed to like be working for Dr. Danger after she died. This is the first we're hearing, though, of like having to take care of Caution. He represents a unique challenge, I know. But you wouldn't have gone this far if you and I didn't believe you could do it.
Please, listen carefully.
While I'm away on business, it's important that you keep him on his daily routine. 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Regularity is key. Remember that all his dietary habits, health regimens, and study exercises are detailed in the files that we went over together.
I apologize.
If you have to decrypt them again, but... Caution and I have made a habit of hiding our tracks for good reason. No, she is. She's talking about the sidekick Caution. Caution was the one with the big braids earlier. They're the sidekick of this deceased supervillain right here. And when the day is over, feel free to play games, watch movies, or read comics together. If you need a suggestion, Caution told me that he loves the Cantaloupe Mall course in Mario Kart. Oh, Coconut Mall, Mario Kart. These messages are for whoever's supposed to take care of Caution, but I don't think they're meant for us. I might be pronouncing that wrong. He'll know what you mean. So take care.
Please, listen carefully.
If things go smoothly, I'll be back for him in a week. And if things don't go smoothly, well, there are systems in place that will guide you on what to do.
That's all for now. Goodbye. And thank you for taking care of my... Note to self, re-record instructions at earliest convenience. Try not to be so ominous next time.
That message wasn't for you. And it wasn't for one of Dr. Danger's goons either. But a babysitter? Really? Who in the world would be qualified to babysit him? Curiouser and curiouser. You said that the voice sounds familiar. I actually don't know. Here's the voice actors' names, though. Vin Vox and Carrick Inabnet. Feel free to check them out. The developer approached me and asked me to play this game. And, you know, every now and again, I just flash this on screen to show the credits. I don't know if they're, like, in any, like, bigger projects. Because this is an indie game, so I don't know if, like, they have the budget to hire like voice actors who, I don't know what's the word, are more prolific, but both of them have been doing a great job so far. So I'll definitely check the credits myself after this. Come on. Just focus on the task at hand. They are good so far, yeah. Best wishes for the VAs. All right.
You can ring my